that gap is going to be down under a second, I feel, next time by. Maybe not, though, because Dominic Schack there getting, actually the 89 car, sorry, of Frulio getting in the way there. It's Ellis from Toffel. Melvin de Groot is a factor in this as well, but last time by, Ellis was very slow. It was a 59.0 last time. Was that a one-off? Did he make a mistake? I think the answer is yes, because it was a 57.2 this time for Ellis. So he is starting to reassert that gap. 2.5 seconds back to Toffel in second place. De Groot in third. Dubek in fourth. Bruno Mulders rounding out your top 5 right now. Thomas Dombrowski is in sixth place. Tavat Kalatza in 7th, Schauber in 8th. Florian Richard is running 9th position right now ahead of Andres Beers, Benedetti, and then it's the 22 of O'Brien, who's still the fastest driver out there on the circuit. The tragedy of it is he's only 12th in the standings, but he is still running magnificently, and Thomas Toffel there, fully sideways, coming through Surtees and McLaren, and somehow he keeps it in a straight line. Make no mistake, these cars are as manual as they get, as tricky as they get, and every single driver who's currently keeping this car in a straight line is performing a masterful act. This is driving at its very most hair-raising. One false move like that one and everything changes, and it does for Richard Ellis. He's lost the lead, he's dropped down to third place, and by some miracle he didn't end up in the Paddock Hill Bend gravel on a permanent basis. But Ellis has lost the lead, he's dropped down to third place, and now he's suddenly on the offensive against Melvin de Groot, and your race leader is now Thomas Toffel. Thomas Toffel, who bizarrely was our pole sitter at the start of this, but he's gone off. Ellis has again had an issue. It looks like Martin Dubek has front end damage. I think the weather is getting worse yet again, and that explains everything that's going on currently around the circuit. It's side by side for the lead. Here comes Melvin de Groot. They go either side there of Happy Nessa. Crazy, crazy stuff for the lead. Melvin de Groot has the inside line. Brilliant racing between both parties, and the Dutchman, the giant himself, Melvin de Groot, is your race leader on lap 21 of 25 here in one of the most dramatic, frenetic, insane, and quite difficult to cover Euro NASCAR Open races in the history of this series. And it's Toffel who is following now Melvin de Groot. They've got lap traffic up ahead. What is going to happen next? Who is going to be in victory lane? Your guess is as good as mine. Incredible stuff here in the NASCAR Euro Series. We're about to start lap 22. These conditions are no man's friend at all. The order has shifted significantly. Ellis crossed the line 8th on the previous lap after his issues. Melvin de Groot has gone the wrong way there, I would say. He's taken the outside line. He got squeezed a little bit there by Benedetti, but he manages to stay on terra firma on the circuit, and that's the most important thing. Your order is de Groot, from Toffel, from Dubek. Bruno Mulders is again surviving everything. He's in 4th place. Dombrowski 5th. Tavat Kalatza in 6th place. Patrick Schauber is running in 7th position ahead of Ellis, who was leading this race. A huge turnabout of events, unfortunately, going against the number 21 Lux Motorsport car. Florian Richard is running in 9th place. In 10th position, it is the surging and still somehow speeding number 22 car of Jordan O'Brien, as we see there a very tail-happy Claudio Remeggio Capelli fighting for traction, as everybody is. And there is the 22. That is O'Brien getting past Florian Richard. That's 9th position for O'Brien, as Capelli again loses control a bit there. Everyone struggling in these conditions. Even those who are going quickly are not having it easy in the slightest. But I am stunned by the driving from that number 22 car. O'Brien is performing magnificently for the Club Motorsport. He's comfortably the quickest driver out there on the circuit. And the one who's the next quickest is Thomas Dombrowski. He's running 5th place. He's closing in on Mulders. I think he might run out of time here. We're about to start the penultimate lap of the race, and Melvin Groot, the Dutch giant, is just moments away from something he's never achieved previously in the NASCAR Euro Series. He's always fast. He's always a contender in Euro NASCAR Open. I always maintain that. He's always had a shot. He's always had the pace. And right now, he's less than 2 laps away from an inaugural victory in the NASCAR Euro Series Open Division. There we see the 72 of Mulders running 4th position. He was half a second quicker than Martin Dubeck, and he's within a second of the defending champion. Oh, Melvin de Groot there, just getting a little bit sideways. Incredible stuff from Melvin. Really, really thrilling racing here in the most dramatic, frenetic and difficult of conditions. We begin the final lap of the race. This man, Melvin de Groot, his best finish so far this season is 5th. He had 3 podiums last year. He's never won a race in the NASCAR Euro Series in the overall contendership, and yet here he is at the front, circumnavigating the lap traffic, the most difficult conditions I think we may have ever seen here in the NASCAR Euro Series. He's doing a magnificent job for Team Blake-Molen. Just a couple of corners between himself and glory on lap 25 of a shortened motor race. Teufel is 2nd. Dubeck is 3rd. Mulders, Dombrowski, Tavat Kilatsa, your top 6 here. But it's Melvin de Groot who has come over everything else. He has managed to get through the adversity, through the literal storm, and come out of it all as the race winner. Melvin de Groot with the hardest fought victory in the series in quite some time. Melvin de Groot has won the race from Thomas Teufel, from Dubeck, from Mulders, who was only a 10th away from the podium at the end there. Dombrowski's 5th, Tavat Kilatsa 6th, Schauber 8th. What could have been, unfortunately, for Lux Motorsport and Matthew Ellis in the number 21. He just seemed to lose confidence after that trip to the gravel trap, and he finishes in 8th place. And the incredible number 22 Club Motorsport car Jordan O'Brien, who was a lap down, unlapped himself and eventually finishes 9th position, all while setting the fastest times of anybody out there on the circuit. Your top 10 rounded out by Florian Richard. But what about this? Melvin de Groot, a Euro NASCAR overall race winner. 2.7 seconds clear of Thomas Teufel. Martin Dubeck, 3rd fastest and 3rd in the race for Hendricks Motorsport. Bruno Mulders, 4th fastest, 4th in the race, sorry, I'm calling it like a qualifying. Thomas Dombrowski in 5th, 6th position for Sandro Tavat Kilatsa. Patrick Schauber in 7th, Matthew Ellis in 8th, Jordan O'Brien 9th fastest. In 10th place, Florian Richard, and the order in front of you has just changed because Mulders has just been penalised and demoted to 7th place. So Bruno Mulders again with a retroactive penalty. He was 4th, he will be 7th. That promotes Dombrowski to 4th, Tavat Kilatsa to 5th, and Patrick Schauber to 6th position. Melvin de Groot is heading to a Euro NASCAR victory lane for the first time ever as an overall race winner. These are circumstances he would have never expected. These are circumstances I certainly didn't see coming. But Melvin de Groot has done it. And bear in mind, he is not far away in the championship standings. In fact, he was 5 back from the championship lead coming into this race. So not only has Melvin de Groot just won his first ever NASCAR Euro Series race overall, but in doing so, he is now going to be our championship leader. What a turn up for the books for the Dutchman. Incredible scenes here at Brands Hatch. The Brands Hatch Reservoir, never mind racing circuit, has delivered a head scratcher, I'll say that much. But at the end of it all, Melvin de Groot is the man on top. What a drive for him, what a day of diminishing returns for Thomas Chrysonis and quite a few of the others who we'd normally expect to be right up there at the sharp end. I will say for Thomas Toffel, this race is going to be very useful as well. Second in this race, he had not had a victory. He still has not had a victory this season. But moreover, coming into this weekend, he was 17th in the standings, which is not at all reflective of what the Swiss driver can do. A second place finish here will bump him up the order. What a race. We apologise for the fact that it wasn't broadcast to you in full, let's say. But the internet, affected seemingly by the rain, by the lightning and thunder that's around the circuit, and that not just affecting the broadcast, but just about everything else as well. So this race has been very disjointed as the internet forced our coverage to be. But in the end, Melvin de Groot made it work. When it counted, we saw the action. And when it counted, the Team Blakemolen's own big friendly giant has only gone and won one. Insane scenes, incredible action here. And it will change the championship going forward. Of course, in EuroNASCAR, we have the regular season. And that concludes going into Oschersleben, the penultimate round. But all the same, races like this, where everything turns on its head, will have an effect on the championship. And we're getting a look at these highlights now. And remember that scene that we saw there. The 69 car, Melvin de Groot, was one of the last to choose tyres. They went for slicks eventually because the circuit was still dry. However, they waited for the last moment. They were one of many teams to scramble into the pit lane for the benefit of a tyre change. During the warm-up laps, it became clear that everybody needed to be on wets. It was torrential as the race finally got underway here at Brands Hatch, and it wouldn't be long before a total blackout around the circuit struck, and that, along with the conditions, caused a red flag. The race order would reassert itself behind the safety car with none other than Dominique Schack at the front of the field. Melvin de Groot was lurking there, well back in the order, but he seemed to have the confidence in these wet conditions. Thomas Toffel was very fast out of the gates as the race went back to green flag. It was clear that he had confidence. It was clear that Matthew Ellis in the Lux Motorsport number 21 had confidence. He went round the outside for second place. Florent Richard got past Dominique Schack as well. The order was shuffling like an iPod in the 2000s. Throughout this phase of the race, we had a spin there for the number one of Andres Beers. Meanwhile, Melvin Groot managed to challenge, while Jordan O'Brien unfortunately tagged Bruno Mulders. Mulders was in the wars a little bit as the race continued on. O'Brien, though, what a drive from him. This is him unlapping himself against Thomas Toffel, who I think at that point was still the race leader, and that was a sign of things to come. Yes, because here comes Toffel versus Melvin de Groot. Melvin had the inside line here at Paddock Hill Bend. He tried to get to the inside. He succeeded at getting to the inside, but didn't make it through. Toffel shut the door. Meanwhile, Ellis went out wide, and that handed Toffel the lead. Sorry, it was Matthew Ellis, of course, leading at this stage of the race, and that was the moment that he ended up losing the lead by way of gravel excursion. Toffel would have a spin, Ellis would have a spin almost at the same time. Well, Toffel just went off the circuit. He didn't spin, but all the same, he was experiencing the limits of what his car could do. But Melvin de Groot was seemingly playing to a different rule book. He went around the outside of Dominique Schack, and he got to the inside of Thomas Toffel, all at the same time, to move into the lead, and that lead would stay with him for the remainder of the race in the most insane of circumstances. As those around him spun and lost control, he is our winner. And Andre, we're with you.
Yes, I want to drop some information right now. The car of Melvin de Groot is getting here because he had to use the tunnel, and I see the car already coming. So yeah, maybe we can just talk while we get the car into victory lane. This was a totally crazy race. By the way, check Instagram and follow there. We had a little bit of a backup live stream there. I went online there with my phone to at least give you some information. But right now we have the Whelan pickup truck bringing the car of Melvin de Groot, and I'm now bringing him into victory lane. The 69 car of Melvin de Groot at the moment coming here to victory lane. Just parking the car right now. Melvin, how's it going?
Yeah, fantastic. It was an amazing race. I couldn't see anything. It was no view, nothing, and yeah, we made it. We did it. I had to go back from, I don't know, 5th, 7th place after starting 4th, and I couldn't see anything. So over the board where they say on the left part, stay left, stay right, and I just focus, and I knew I was a bit quicker, so I thought at a certain moment I need to attack now. 3, 2, 1, go for it. Now, phenomenal. I'm really, really happy with this.
I thought I'd just protect you a little bit from the rain. You can stay in your car a little bit longer, because I wait also for all the photographers and people around to have a nice shot when you can get out. You're a NASCAR race winner.
Yeah, it took me a couple of years. That's no, it's not pathetic, but no, it's really nice, especially in these circumstances. That it's really hard. You know, it was a fight with the cars around you, lapping cars, and finally managing to get first. Yeah, it's a really good feeling.
Also championship leader, by the way. I know it.
Yeah, in the Legends.
No, overall.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yes.
Oh, that's not so bad then. Okay, I thought about the Legends, but then I did a good job then.
You did. So now it's time for Melvin de Groot celebrations in victory lane. You're your open winner.
Melvin de Groot, a race winner in Euro NASCAR. He's not going to brave standing on the roof, I don't know. He is. It's a bit slippery up there, Melvin. Please be careful. Wisely decides to descend in a safe way. Melvin de Groot, an inaugural victory. With it comes a championship lead. Sensational circumstances have led to this moment, as for the first time in his Euro NASCAR career, Melvin is a race winner overall in Euro NASCAR. There's Sebastian Blakemolen congratulating him, his family, the rest of the team congratulating Melvin de Groot as we go down to Bruno Mulders.
Teammate, of course, how was your race? How crazy was it from your point of view?
Yeah, crazy. So much happened, but I mean, as Dutch guys, we like the rain, obviously. So yeah, lovely conditions.
How hard is it to keep a Euro NASCAR car on track with the rain tires in such heavy conditions?
Well, it's quite difficult because we didn't have any track time in the wet here before. It was all dry, and then suddenly the race is on wet, so it's just feeling and trying to get on that edge, and it's just constantly drifting.
All right, I tried to grab a word with our team boss. Hello, guys. I have to do a live interview right now. You were a spectator. Crazy race, right?
I was coaching him a little bit, but it was really a fantastic race. The conditions were so bad, and he kept the car on the track, and a lot of drivers spun and had other collisions. So he really did a good job. And Bruno also, he spun also. It was somebody hit him and finished fourth. So.
Can you give me one sentence again? The rain races?
The rain races. One sentence.
Just the rain races.
Just the rain races. Brands Hatch, raining, England. But it was fun. It was cool.
All right, thank you so much. Congratulations. Melvin de Groot, Sebastian Blekemolen, Bruno Mulders. Back to you, Adam.
Great to hear from everyone down there at Team Blekemolen in victory lane. The 69 car, for the first time with Melvin de Groot at the wheel, is a race-winning machine in the NASCAR Euro Series. What a race this has been. If you're just joining us and you're thinking, okay, how did that happen? Let's watch this back. Unfortunately, the stream was hindered, as a lot of the electrics around the circuit were, by the rain, by an internet dropout, but none of that affected Thomas Toffel, Andre.
Yes, a little sum up from what we had from the outside. Dry track, rain, blackout of the whole track, no internet connection, no streaming, no electricity, red flag going back to green, and a totally crazy race. How was it for you?
Yeah, it was crazy because there is so much rain. At such moment, I was thinking that we stopped the race. But yeah, it was difficult, and also a lot of aquaplaning. So when the Groot pass, I let him pass, and I don't want to fight because I want to stay on the road. Also because of what happens in Vallelunga, I wanted really to finish a race, and it was nice to give back the car without damage to the team.
Is it also a little bit fun drifting this car around the track?
Yeah, it's fun. We at the beginning it's not so fun because the tires are cold, but when you find the grip, it begins to be really fun to drive on the rain with the NASCAR. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Thomas Toffel. Back to you, Adam.
Thanks.
Thomas Toffel with a great result for his circumstances in the championship. Again, I remind you, 17th coming into this race. So he needs fortune at this point. You get one drop score race at the end of regular season going into the double points playoffs. But that won't help Thomas Toffel. He needs strong results. He needs to be clean when others are not. Let's go down to Andre again.
Thank you so much, Brent Satch, David Willey with me. Have you ever seen such a chaotic race in the rain here with blackouts, no electricity, no internet connection, red flag, people coming back on track and delivering still a good show?
Absolutely, the drivers did everyone proud there. What an amazing race, and what a way to finish as well. But especially with the unique Indy Circuit here at Brands Hatch, that was one for the race fans. Absolutely.
Did you enjoy it? Where have you seen it?
Yes, I was in race control, so I was with the race director.
Dry and warm.
Yeah, I was in the dry at the time. But hats off to all the fans here that are still here for the last NASCAR Euro Series race, and we've now got the pickup trucks and tracks, and hopefully we can get the legends on for the last race of the day. But all being well, tomorrow the weather should be a lot better, dry and sunny. So we look forward to seeing everyone again tomorrow.
All right, thank you so much. Have fun for the rest of the event. Back to you, Adam.
There you go, our Grand Marshal for this race, David Willey. Of course, the craziest race he could probably ever choose to Grand Marshal there, as we see the drivers behind the podium getting ready to be presented to the fans here. It will be the overall podium first of all, of course. Every single driver has done amazing things to get to the flag though, Andre.
Yeah, thank you so much. My favorite drivers are the one with umbrellas at the moment. Sandro Tavat-Kilatze, you're a NASCAR rookie, first totally crazy rain race. How was it for you?
It was totally crazy, mate. I started after the red flag, I was P15 and I was catching, and after 10 laps I had like wall in front of me. I couldn't see anything, so it was very good race. P5 I think overall, two in my class. So it was good. After the bad qualifying and issues with the car, it was very good points, and let's see tomorrow. I think we will start in the front.
All right, thank you so much. Congratulations, Sandro. Back to you, Adam.
Tavak Kalatsa, who's been pretty strong all year so far, and will be moving up the championship standings as well. I think he may well be on the top 5 of the points now, once everything shakes out here. At the very least, he'll still be strong in 6th as we go back down to Andre.
Last interview before we start the podium ceremony. Thomas Dombrowski, again, one with the umbrella. I like you. Thank you so much for that. How was it for you?
Well, it's crazy because I'm trying to get confident with the car I crashed with yesterday under the rain. So not the best way to do it, and with a very dry setup, so really complicated, but it's okay. At least I'm here. That's what I was saying to the team. We saved points today because I could have not be here to race, and we did it, and the team did. Again, like, huge respect to the team for the job. We have a car. Vittorio did P2 on the pro race, and I could drive here in P5. So good job to them.
All right, thank you so much. Merci beaucoup. I do this right now. Now podium ceremonies, Adam, and I find a warm and dry place.
Yeah, get a cup of tea, Andre. When in Rome, or Kent. Well. That was really quite special. Look at the Hoosier tyres there, the sidewall of the 69 Melvin de Groot, I think, showing some evidence of a few of the skirmishes that maybe happened around the circuit. Let's welcome our podium then. Overall podium, Martin Dubek, 3rd. Our defending champion came into this race 5th in the standings, and a 3rd place finish will do him not much harm at all. 2nd place for Thomas Toffel, his best result of the season. Melvin de Groot, though, is the man of the hour. For the first time, an overall winner in the NASCAR Euro Series. He takes the points lead, and the ever-consistent Dutch veteran might be putting himself into a strong position for the season going forward.
Massive round of applause for our victor there in those awful conditions. Brilliant job. Right, presenting the trophy down from NASCAR Euro Series. So the 3rd place trophy.
So then the presentations ongoing, and Martin Dubek to the 3rd trophy. Thomas Toffel gets his 2nd place, and with his family stood alongside him, Melvin de Groot is a race winner in the NASCAR Euro Series. I'm sure he didn't necessarily see that coming when he woke up this morning. He certainly didn't know that he was the championship leader in his post-race interview. But here we are. What a day for Melvin de Groot. What a day in the NASCAR Euro Series. The pro race was entertaining earlier on, but the open race, well, whoever wrote that clearly had no shortage of paper.
Always good to see who are the quickest with the champagne corks.
Melvin takes a well-earned drink. I suspect he probably wants something warmer though. Congratulations to Melvin de Groot and everyone on the podium. Legend Trophy is up next, and Melvin de Groot has some more silverware to pick up. As he, of course, as the overall winner, was also the Legend Trophy winner. Third step of the podium, though, going to a local favourite in the form of Gordon Barnes. Roberto Benedetti to the second step of the podium. And your winner, overall and in Legend Trophy, Melvin de Groot. Gordon Barnes with his trophy held aloft. Great to see him back again. Of course, a former champion in the Rookie Challenge, the regularity format of Euro NASCAR that takes place on Fridays. And he's done a few race appearances here and also at the Oval in Venray last year. Benedetti always up there in legend, and Melvin de Groot with the day of his life. Next up, the Masters Trophy for kind of inexperienced drivers, amateur drivers or rookies. And Sandro Tavacolazza taking third step of the podium here. Thomas Dombrowski second in the Masters class, but the winner, and a man who keeps making indents on the overall aspect of things as well, now in both Pro and the Open divisions, Bruno Mulders on the top step. Remember, he was third before a penalty post-race in the Euro NASCAR Pro race earlier on. He's double duty this weekend, and Mulders, just 3 events into his racing car career, has been impressing everybody and racking up Master Trophy silverware.
Congratulations to the top 3 there for the Masters. And now we've got one more to present, and it is the Lady Trophy.
One more presentation to go, and it's Happy Nessa for the Lady Trophy. And she probably has never quite seen a race like that. Again, just 3 meetings into her racing career as well, so a new experience certainly for Nessa. She'll be happy with that Lady Trophy. So then, the race is in the books. A crazy, crazy motor race in the NASCAR Euro Series. And we have a new race winner in the NASCAR Euro Series in the form of Melvin de Groot. He will be our championship leader heading into round 6 of the season in Euro NASCAR Open. But Euro NASCAR Pro will be our next racing action. Make sure you join us tomorrow afternoon, as that graphic said, 14:10 Central European Summertime and 13:10 UK time here for more Euro NASCAR action on what promises to be a slightly brighter Sunday.
Drivers,